Hi guys, I'm back. It's about a week after we found out the information that our fertility treatments were going to have to stop. So I wanted to get the viewpoint of my husband Anthony.
Yeah, it's kind of weird experience for me being a guy. Guys aren't seen as the emotional type to really seek out help or anything like that. And I was along the same boat. Dealing with this, it's very emotional. That's not something I'm very comfortable with. So I thought it'd be good to give a perspective from my perspective, being just a typical guy in my opinion. I've always been an optimistic type of person, and I just was really positive about the whole situation. Just, I felt that even though we haven't had a baby for going on 2 years now, we've been trying, but at least there are steps that we can take. Never got to the point at the end of this treatment that we got to about having a pregnancy test. So
I've never bought a pregnancy test in my life before.
yeah, so we've it was a good experience. And looking back on it, I can see the growth because of it. But it was very emotional. From a guy's perspective, it was easy. Just the things that I had to do, it was just the semen analysis was the only thing that was very weird in my opinion. Going into that, doing through that whole process, that was weird. But it was nowhere near what my wife had to go through as far as the different hormones and everything. That I think I have a different perspective as far as like the hormones coming from a medical background. I think that knowing how much hormones affect a person's nature, a person's homeostasis, just different things that hormones do, and it was very apparent, still is very apparent how much they affected her personality and her, just the way that she dealt with things. But from my perspective, it was hard. It still is hard.
I'm still struggling. I haven't been taking medicines for probably about a week now. But they did, when I finished the treatments, they said my estrogen levels were still high. And I almost feel worse now mood-wise than I did while I was taking the pills and the shots. I really feel the effects of it more now. And I don't know if it's because I'm more emotional because of the situation we're in, but I'm having a hard time still.
Yeah, and it's hard to keep that in perspective because being more of an optimistic person, it didn't affect me as much as it did my wife, and I didn't have the hormones in me either. So, I very much was like, okay, on to the next time. I'm optimistic, even though it's going to be a while that we can try. It was a good experience. It was sad, but we learned from it. But I didn't have to go through everything that my wife goes through. I didn't have to have that feeling that, am I pregnant, am I not pregnant? I didn't have the change of anything in within my body. So it was easy for me to have that feeling in this situation, but it was harder for my wife to have the same optimistic feeling that I had because of everything that she had to go through. And I think that's important to learn, because that was something that I really didn't know how to deal with. Being a guy, as far as how much it affects them personally and emotionally. You really do, as a husband, have to be there, have to put your own feelings aside.
Do you have any questions for me?
How long until the hormones get back to normal? To me, it was a very hopeful experience. It was a point, we got to a point where we've never been to, and although it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to, it was upsetting. But we did learn a lot from it. You feel that way?
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's only going to benefit us. It's hard to say, like, a lot of good came out of it because I feel like we're still going through it. Even just with it being Christmas, it's a lot harder. Like, I wonder how I'm going to feel like seeing our family, the little kids, open the presents, and just knowing that I don't know if it's in our near future, or I know having a kid somewhere in our future, but it's like a cloud of sadness I really feel right now. And
it's the same with me. And like I said, being a more non-emotional type of person, but I still do have those feelings, like walking around Target seeing 5 pregnant women, every other aisle. It's upsetting, but I think I'm able to deal with my emotions a lot better and be a little bit optimistic about the situation. As a husband, as a male going through it, I feel that the hardest thing for me is the emotions of my wife and not being able to fix the situation, because as a husband, you want to fix. If my wife is feeling upset, I can fix it. I can do something. I'm physically able to help her or protect her. And in this situation, I can't control it. So on that end, it is an emotional roller coaster for me. For me, the most emotional thing for me is how my wife feels, being upset and not being able to fix it. So I try to do things that I can do, just as far as being there for her when she's upset, really kind of trying to take our mind off of this whole situation when we can. In our situation, it's a little bit different than a lot of others because I am leaving to medical school soon. So we have a limited time together that we're able to really get over this. So from my perspective, I want to hurry up and get over this because I want things to be better before I leave. Because it's harder for me to physically be there, past after I leave. So I want things to just get better, hurry up. Sometimes that isn't the best thing for us, and sometimes you do need the time to kind of reboot and refocus into the next step.
You're really only going to be here like 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be miserable the 2 weeks that you're here. So I kind of am fighting that battle of like trying to push how I feel aside, but then it kind of comes back up. And you have expectations for women that have miscarried, that it's going to give them time to grieve over it. But I didn't think I would need so much time to grieve over. I didn't ever even have a baby. So I didn't realize that I would need like a grieving time. It's not that something bad happened, it's that nothing good happened. And it's weird.
And that's really what I hope people take away from this is, yes, it's upsetting when it doesn't work, but it was a hope that we've never had before. So if hindsight 2020, even if, it didn't work, I still feel that, it was a good experience. It was definitely worth doing, money-wise, time-wise, effort-wise. Relationship wise, it was worth to do because just the feeling that maybe this time is maybe it's going to work this time, and just having that feeling was irreplaceable. And so it was definitely worth it. I encourage if you are on the verge, if you want to do it or not, I would tell you to do it. Do you still feel the same way after?
I don't know, like I'm even scared to want to try to do it again in the future. I don't know if it's just because it's so fresh right now. Sometimes I feel like maybe the timing that we did it in was kind of wrong, because I would rather be happy right now and enjoying you before you leave than so upset and grouchy.
Yeah.
So I kind of regret the timing of it, but the timing wasn't your choice, it wasn't my choice, it's just the way that things kind of unfolded. Would I want to go through all the physical pain and emotional pain again? No. But if I could try to have a baby again, like that was fun.
Yeah. I mean, we're still hopeful. There's still a possibility we can have babies naturally. That's our plan
now.
Yeah. But it was kind of emotional just because our plans didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to. We can plan things all we want, but when it comes to having a kid, we know that it's in God's hands. We're still optimistic. We're still hopeful. We're kind of upset and emotional right now, but it's definitely not a unclimbable mountain. Yeah, that's it. I mean, all I can say is we're doing okay. We're fine and emotional, upset, but we're definitely motoring through. We have a lot to look forward to, and like I told my wife, our marriage is enough, and kids and everything that comes with it shouldn't define our marriage.
Okay, well, I guess that's it. We talked about a lot of different angles of the whole fertility treatment. We're looking forward to...
Next what? What's next?
We're looking forward to what's next.
Yeah, medical school. Hopefully we'll have some videos of medical school, and I'll throw some stuff up there about like what I do, what got me to this point. I kind of have a weird story, kind of different from most doctors where they come from. So it'll be pretty interesting to talk about that. And my wife, we're going to be apart. So my wife will be updating you about how she's dealing with the whole being apart stuff. And okay, well, I hope you learned something out of this or got a perspective from it. And yeah, we'll see you in the future, and write a comment if you want to, or we'll answer it.
Oh, I get a comment. All right, bye.